Hi, this is Pam Verbarg from the Arc of Greater Boone County, and welcome to Empowered Voices, Stories from the Arc of Greater Boone County. Today's episode is our welcoming episode, where we are going to welcome you to Empowered Voices, talk a little bit about who we are and why we're doing the podcast, and give you a little bit of a teaser of what we're planning to do in the future with these sessions. So I'm going to start this morning by talking a little bit about who the Arc of Greater Boone County is and what we do. This is probably the biggest question I get when I'm out and about and talking to people who are not as familiar with our services. So we're going to start right there. So the Arc of Greater Boone County actually incorporated in 1970, but we actually date back all the way to the 1950s. And how that happened is in the mid-1950s, groups of families started getting together all around the country and created what is now known as the Arc. Because families of people with intellectual and developmental disabilities did not have a lot of options in those days for their kids. And families started a grassroots effort to try to find solutions and supports to help them better meet the needs of their kids. At that time, things that we count on today, like day services and residential programs and Medicaid waiver and group homes and all of those types of supports didn't exist. Even special education programs did not exist. So that's kind of how we started, was those groups of parents getting together. And then in 1970, we incorporated and started what was then a sheltered work program where we offered a variety of different services around the community. If you walk down some of our halls, you'll see some of the early pieces of that, which included things like ironing services and furniture repair. And gradually we've built to where we are today. Today, we serve over 250 people with intellectual and developmental disabilities in a variety of services and supports. That ranges from kiddos who are about 4 years old to our oldest person who is about 80 today. And we provide those services wherever the person wants or needs those. So those services could be provided in the person's home, and that person might live with family. They might live in their own apartment, or they might share their house with other people with disabilities. We also have our day services program, which teaches a lot of different skills, from cooking and some self-care skills, and helping people access the community. And individuals are here on our site here in Lebanon from about 8 o'clock in the morning till 4 o'clock in the afternoon, participating in that. We have our Main Street Marketing Enterprises program, which is also the manufacturer of Mr. Canary bird feeders, where we have about 50 people who manufacture bird feeders that are sold all around the country. And those are now competitive work opportunities for individuals that we support. We also have what we call our Career Connections program, where we support workers in obtaining jobs. And that could be any type of job, you see some of the individuals we support working places like McDonald's and Walmart's and Witham Hospital, at GXO, and other places. So individuals with disabilities do all kinds of different jobs, from customer service to stocking to working in logistics to we also support some individuals who work in IT and other more advanced programs as well. And in that program, we help people through vocational rehabilitation get those jobs and maintain those jobs in the community. And then we also have another program that serves about 100 kids across the school systems that we support, called Pre-Employment Transition Services. And for that program, we are part of a collaborative that works with high school students to plan where they're headed after high school is over, whether that is going straight into a career or going into post-secondary education. So those are our core services. Then we also serve as the WIC program for at-need families, both in Boone and Hendricks County. And in the WIC program, we serve about 2,800 families right now. Employee-wise, we have about 120 employees across all of our programs who some of them are based here on site, but the vast majority of our employees are based in those community settings. So working with people in their homes, at the WIC offices, helping people in their jobs, and working in the schools. How we are funded is another piece of what people ask on a regular basis. We are funded through a couple of different programs. Obviously, the WIC program is funded through the Women, Infant, and Children program through the state of Indiana. So that is a Department of Health program. We also work with the Medicaid waiver program. And that is the Medicaid waiver program for persons with intellectual and developmental disabilities. So there are two programs there. There's one called the Family Supports Waiver and another called the Community Habilitation Waiver. And individuals with either of those waivers can participate in our programs. We also are funded through vocational rehabilitation, and we also contract individually with some group home providers to provide day services for those individuals. So we have a different and wide variety of programs that we support. One program I almost always forget is one of our newest programs, which is funded through the United Way of Central Indiana, and that is our Family Supports Program too. That program works with a variety of families who, again, tend to be struggling a little bit in helping to connect them with what they need when they need it. So those could just be drop-in programs and supports like helping connect families with diaper distribution days and food distributions and things of that nature. To Allison, our manager in that program, also spends time with families and individuals, helping them figure out career paths and helping them connect to other resources that are out and about in the county. This year, she also hosted two community baby showers, and we're planning on doing those again next year. And this next year, we're also going to start doing some parent cafes, which are a structured program, which again helps connect parents with mentoring and planning for where they're headed next in their careers and providing supports to those families. We are based here in Lebanon, but obviously we work all throughout the counties that we exist in, and we are, for WIC, we're both in Boone and Hendricks counties, and we provide services and supports in other surrounding counties as well, including Hamilton, Marion, Hendricks, Montgomery, Tippecanoe, and Clinton counties as well. So the next question is, why a podcast? And what are we planning to do with the podcast? So the whole idea behind the podcast and getting this out here is just having some short and sweet snippets of who we are and what we're doing and how we connect with the community and help people better understand who we are and how you can get involved as well. So we'll be talking about a variety of things. We'll be talking about our programs and bringing in some of our staff to talk about who they are and introduce themselves and talk about their programs and what they're doing. We'll be talking about how people can get involved with us through volunteering and other opportunities to support us as an organization. We'll also be inviting some of our community partners in as well. Over the years, we've developed some terrific community partnerships and want to make sure that people know about those as well, because it's not just the Arc of Greater Boone County operating in a vacuum. As I've mentioned already, we have lots of different funders who work with us, but we also work with other community partners, such as Boone Area Transit, who provides transportation services. We work with our community foundation and United Way of Central Indiana and other group home companies and the schools and all of these other people and places around our community, which just continue to help build the opportunities that we have throughout the communities that we support in. So, how can you get involved today? The first thing I'd love to ask you to do is just start following us. We're on social media. So we have a Facebook page, we have LinkedIn, we're on Instagram. We'll be following the podcast, and we're also getting ready to launch our newly updated website. So follow us on those as much as you can and share our information. I mean, that's probably the easiest way to act and help make an impact is help spread the word about what we're doing and what's going on here. Um, Other things we'll be doing as we move on through the podcast is introducing you to more of our staff so you can get to know them, especially our leadership team. And I'd love to get to introduce some of our direct support professionals too, because as we grow and as we have more and more people working for us, we have a broad variety of staff who tend to work in the background and they don't get a lot of attention, but they do some really great things. We'd also love to introduce you to some of the people that we support and let them tell you some of the stories and tell a little bit about their backgrounds and what makes them incredible people that they are today. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. We look forward to seeing you next time. I'm hoping and planning the next episode is going to be talking a little bit about whys. We just had a recent meeting with some of our staff where we talked about those and really think that knowing what kind of inspires the people who work for organizations is a really important thing to know and share. So thanks again and have a great day.